So about 2 months ago, we passed the 10-year anniversary for the release of Assassin's Creed Black Flag on PlayStation and Xbox. I decided to play the game again in the honor of the anniversary and buy it on Steam for the first time to play it with a full 60 FPS with ultra graphics and all the little stuff that you get with PC. So how is it holding up? Is it still as good as we remember it being? In short, yeah, it is. But let's get into the details. Before you do that, if you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, it really helps out the channel. If you're interested in Assassin's Creed videos, check the channel, that's my thing, and let's get into the discussion. So listen, I'm gonna be honest. It's Black Flag, you probably played it, I played it, everyone played it, everyone knows about this game. So I'm just gonna be completely honest, this game is still amazing, it still looks great, still holds up amazing, and I have a ton to say about this game that's positive. So there's a really little amount of negative stuff that I want to mention before we get into the gushing about this game. First of all, the whole technical side of the game, it really sucks how Ubisoft is treating this game. You need to go through a lot of loops to get to play the game in the first place. I have to play it offline so I don't mess around with Kenway's fleet kind of deal, and then that would screw up my save. So there's a lot of problems that you also need to handle to be able to play this game as you wanna play it normally. So that really sucks. It's not doesn't ruin the game, don't get me wrong, but I want to mention it because if you play on PC, then you should know about this because there is a chance that it's gonna mess up your whole experience. Now, when it comes to negatives with the actual game and the gameplay itself, I only have three. One, the gameplay and the parkour and the combat doesn't feel as smooth as it should. The combat is way too easy, the parkour is way too glitchy. It's not as smooth as what we're used to. It's not as smooth as the Ezio trilogy even, but it is acceptable. It is flashy, it is really fun to see on screen, but it's not fun to control, and it's not challenging in any way. You are more limited than you were in Ezio's games, you are more limited in combat as well, other than the parkour, and you are just very easily flying through like 30 enemies, killing everyone in your sight. Kinda breaks the game, but at least it's flashy and I do enjoy it, but it is an issue that I had with the game and that should be mentioned. The second thing that I had a problem with the game is the tailing missions. Obviously, everyone talked about it already back when the game released, and yeah, they still suck. It's not like they're gonna age well. They're still boring, you have to follow people without doing anything except sneaking around. Sometimes you're on a timer, sometimes you're not. It's really not interesting. I'm here to be an assassin and a pirate. Tailing people might be fun every once in a while, but if you do it more than 20 times in a game, it gets kinda repetitive. Especially if we do it in a ship, other than it looking stupid because just you can't tail someone in a ship while you're like 100 feet away. It doesn't make any sense, but you still do it. And other than it being not logical, it's also boring, so that's a problem. The tailing missions kinda suck. And the last problem that I had is the Nassau missions. I like Nassau as a location, but it sucks for parkour, in my opinion. And there's a whole part of the game where the city is under siege and you are forced to stay there for more than an hour or two of gameplay. It really just was too annoying and I didn't want to deal with it because I don't like going around Nassau too much. So that's a problem. I didn't like it story wise, I felt like it dragged. I didn't like it gameplay wise, I felt like it was repetitive. So yeah, it is one of the problems. And with that, that's the only problems I had. Now let's get into the positives. So listen, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I could be like any other reviewer, point out the little nitpicks in the game, exactly explain to you why some stuff doesn't hold up and how it doesn't hold up. But at the end of the day, we both know this game is one of the best in the series. This game is one of the best games of all time, so no matter how much I would explain and nitpick, we both know that it's not gonna be anything compared to the good stuff that this game offers. So I'm not gonna even try. I mentioned what I had a problem with, but I'm not gonna go any more deep into it, and let's talk about why it's good. This game is really special to me. I played it first in the series. It's the first Assassin's Creed that I played in my life on my brand new PlayStation 4 back in the day, so it does hold a special place in my heart. And I like the pirate theme because it really takes me out of the place that I'm in, both right now in my real life and both back then in the day when I played it for the first time. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for me, but yeah, it does feel good to have a game that gives you the full pirate fantasy of seeing the high seas and not worrying about a thing except money and rum. So it is fun, I do like the location, and it did help me through a lot of my life. The story of Edward and his growth from a smug asshole to a smug, well-meaning asshole is a close one to my heart. It means a lot to me, and I do enjoy it most of all the Assassin's Creed stories and the protagonists. He's just a fun guy to follow in this story. I do enjoy everything that he does in it, and by the end it wraps up really nice with a really emotional ending that I still feel bad about today. I don't wanna go down the story and lore rabbit hole, so for now I'm just gonna say that the assassins, the historical figures, the historical locations, and Edward himself and his friends, everything is handled with an amount of care and love that we do not see nowadays. And I really did enjoy it and had a blast seeing these characters interact and seeing their stories through. Speaking of the assassins, they are a really big part of the story, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about the assassin contracts and the Templar hunts, because for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason when I first played the game, I didn't do the Templar hunts. And they are some of the best things in the game. I seem to be in the minority from what I understand online, but I really did enjoy the Templar hunts. Every Templar hunt is basically a little side quest by itself, but it is a multi-level side quest. So you're gonna come back to the character and interact with him multiple times until you hunt down the Templar that has one of the keys that you're looking for to unlock the Templar outfit. Which brings me to the unlockables in the game. The Templar outfit is one of them. You have to go through 6 Templar hunts to get 6 keys to unlock this outfit. Looks badass, gives you a really good buff, and it's just fun to collect, just like in the Ezio games. I really do enjoy the collectibles in these games. The second one is the Mayan outfit, which takes a lot more time to get than the Templar one. You have to go through specific puzzles that you solve, these Mayan temple puzzles, and you collect a big amount of them. I think there's like 20. And then you unlock the Mayan outfit, which protects you from bullets. It's really overpowered, just like you'd suspect it is. But it was really a fun hunt, and I did enjoy unlocking the outfits. And this whole idea of rewarding progression and rewarding exploration goes throughout the whole game, not just with the unlockable outfits. It also goes well with the ship, with the weapons, with the abilities you gain, with everything that you do in this game. There's always a nice reward. You feel like you are growing, Edward is getting new abilities, he's seeing new places, meeting new people. It's always something new to do in this game, and I really did enjoy that, because we don't get these games anymore. Progress nowadays just boils down to getting skill points. Back in the day when this game released, progress was throughout the story, throughout the unlockables you get, throughout exploring places. And this game really does that well. Everything you do in this game, being on foot or being on ship, it also adds to your progression. And you feel that progress by the end of the game and even before that. You just enjoy every second of this game because you feel you are getting rewarded for every second in it. Speaking of the world and exploration, how does it hold up to the other games? The world is huge compared to the Ezio trilogy, and even by the standards that we have today, it is a really big world. It has 3 main city hubs and a lot of little locations that you can see throughout the world, both like city locations and little islands that don't have much on them. The cities are 3: Havana, Nassau, and Kingston. Kingston is by far my favorite aesthetically and parkour wise. Nassau is my least favorite, but it is my favorite lore wise. And Havana is an overall good location that really does well with the parkour system and the assassin contract missions. And it is just the biggest city in the game, so you're gonna be spending most of your time in Havana. But I did enjoy Kingston the most because it looks unique and it is fun and well designed in my opinion. But I think that I'm in the minority with that as well. Most people seem to like Havana the most. And if you compare Havana to, let's say, Florence from Assassin's Creed 2, it is better. I think it looks better. It has more NPC density. It has a lot more rugged look, and it is really well designed. So if you want parkour and assassinations and Assassin's Creed, there is that in this game as well. Of course, you're not gonna be as sneaky as Ezio was or Altair, but it does happen in this game. It's not like Valhalla, and I really did appreciate that because they had a choice of making Edward a pirate, and they could have went full on with being a pirate and forgot about the whole assassin deal. But they didn't forget, and they gave respect to where the series came from, and I think that's one of the best things they could have done, and I really do appreciate them doing it. Now, of course, you can't talk about Black Flag without talking about what a pioneer it was, with giving you the full pirate fantasy and giving you your own ship to control and the sea to sail. The way that the Jackdaw flows throughout the sea and the way that it feels to control through combat still holds up today more than enough. It feels great and it still looks amazing. The sea waves just look fine even now. They look better than most games that release nowadays. I really had a blast going through the whole open world with the sea and just being a pirate, pillaging, stealing, exploring lost islands, finding treasure, looting chests, anything that you can think of when it comes to pirates, you can probably do it in this game. And I especially enjoyed the hunting side of the side missions that you can do. There's this whaling minigame that you can play to hunt different kinds of sharks or whales, which you can use to craft items for Edward. You can do the same on islands, you can hunt jaguars and pigs and whatnot, and it all feeds into the crafting system, which is the main way that you're gonna be upgrading Edward's abilities and equipment, which I did like as a change from the Ezio trilogy. I recently was playing the Ezio trilogy, and there most of the upgrades come through you buying stuff in the shops. This game, most of the upgrades come from you hunting animals and crafting the upgrades yourself, and the buying goes to the ship. And lastly, what I love most about this game is that it didn't compromise. It's not like the newer games, you are still an assassin even though you are a pirate. You can still have your assassination contracts with shooting people with sleep darts, throwing knives, and assassinating them with a hidden blade. And in the same game, you can have sieges on big castles and take over forts with your pirate ship and take rum and sing on the sea. You have both sides of the coin in this one game. They didn't compromise, and that's the best thing that they did with this game, and that is the biggest commitment and the highest commitment to the game, that they took both sides of it and they put it in one game. In the newer games, like in Valhalla for example, you are a Viking and you are no longer an assassin. In the older games, you are an assassin and you're nothing else. In this game, you're both. And that's what I love about this game. You can have the assassin fantasy and you can have the pirate fantasy. Yes, you could say that they could have made better things with the assassin side or better things with the pirate side, but they did the best that they could, and I really do love every single second that I spend with this game, and I had so much fun going back to it now and playing it again because this game is a genuine 10 out of 10 back in 2013 and even now in 2024. And one last personal note that I want to put out there is that I didn't make the Revelations video yet because I didn't finish the game yet. If you've been following the channel, then you know that I played Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, and I am playing through Revelations. It was supposed to be a series starting from Assassin's Creed 1 and going one by one. But I didn't have the time to finish it, and honestly I'm having a blast with it, and I'm taking my time with it, I don't want to rush it. So I wanted to talk about the game that I already played and that I can talk about with all of my knowledge that I amassed through the last couple of years with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's why this video came out now. So I apologize if that messed the order up, and if you are interested, check the channel. I'm gonna be posting the Revelations video probably next week. So if you're interested, let me know. And also, as another thing that I wanted to ask you is, do you enjoy the shorter videos or the longer ones? Let me know what's your limit for the video long and run time, because I am interested in what kind of videos you like, so I can make my videos like that. I like to keep it short, not more than 20 minutes, but also more than 10 minutes if I can. But either way, that's a topic for another day. For now, Assassin's Creed 4 was a blast to go through again. I enjoyed every second of it. I'm gonna be continuing to play it, even though I'm gonna be playing the other games in this series. And if you are interested in more, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. If you're interested in more, check the channel, like, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff. I talk about open world games and Assassin's Creed in specific. And as always, have a nice day.